We're gonna go to NFC. All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's go. I think the South is gonna have the least amount to talk about, so let's
Probably.
start there.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and go through that.
Yeah. All right. I'll just say what my prediction is. Mine is Bucks, Saints, Panthers, Falcons.
Nope.
I have
Falcons
team
last.
besides-
Falcons dead last, as they should be.
Yep.
Panthers last.
Yeah, I
sorry.
said the Falcons. Last.
Yeah.
No. I said
Yeah.
Panthers. I had Panthers last.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I don't have anybody making playoffs besides the Bucks. I think.
I actually
Yep.
think the
Yeah.
Saints could,
The Saints
Very-
could, but I don't. I didn't pick them, man.
because the defense for them is going to be really good, and he's got Jameis, if he stays healthy, has 3 good receivers as long as those receivers stay healthy too. Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and Jarvis Landry. So I mean, in the defense got Tyrann Mathieu, and they were good last year too on defense. So I could see it happening if Jameis can continue not turning the ball like he did for his 7 games he played last year. But if he turns back into the Jameis of old and that he has been most of his career, it could get ugly.
I see you. I think where where I'll be skeptical is I think Sean Payton retiring.
Right.
I think he had more to do a lot with that offense. That I don't know if you're getting that same Jameis again.
Well, the worst thing about it, Sean Payton not being there, is that Hunter and I are not going to get our doses of Sweet Cheeks as much.
As he not as a quarterback because he's not one.
And by Sweet Cheeks, we're talking about Taysom Hill, by the way.
No, I will always have the Panthers dead last in this division until Matt Rule is fired.
I was going to give you your floor to talk about the Panthers. That was going to be my next thing.
I have
Give you
them.
all-
I have them pegged for yet another 5-win season. I'm hoping, if there is a God, Matt Rule will be fired halfway through the season. And then I realize it doesn't matter who the interim coach is because whoever it is isn't going to get the job. It'll be like still Steve Wilkes or something. And yeah, so they do. And I'm not convinced Baker or obviously not Darnold is the guy, but we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong.
I will guarantee this to you, Jacob. If they're on pace for a 5-12 season, Matt Rule will be fired. I will guarantee that. There's
I'm
no way you
hoping.
can hang on to him. This is his 3rd or 4th year.
Third, fourth.
Third.
Third.
There's
And-
nothing in
yeah.
the contract.
Third?
Sorry.
Third? Yeah, third.
Yeah, it's third. But they've had 3 straight 5-win seasons.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 3 different quarterbacks. So then eventually you can't be like, well, we gave you 3 guys and you couldn't do it with them. So
Yeah.
Mhm. And I'm interested with Baker. I feel yes, Panthers have better weapons, but they have a lot worse line than he had in
Yeah.
Cleveland. And I think Cleveland was a better. I mean, they're gonna struggle because they don't have a quarterback, but I think
Yeah.
Cleveland's a lot better team.
And I watched a
Then
little
what
bit
he-
of the Panthers Patriots preseason game. That line still looked bad. Like it was not a good game for the line.
well, I think Baker's going to be a step up from Sam Darnold. I don't think anyone
For
besides
sure.
Phillip is going to
Absolutely.
disagree with that. So I think the offense will be better. Baker still, there's a stat since 2018, the top 2 quarterbacks in interceptions have been Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield. So you're still going to get the interceptions. The offense will move better, but again, is it really going to be that much to improve to the point where Matt Rule saves his job? I don't really see that happening, and I really don't know. I think Baker's going to be okay this year, but the interesting will be if the Panthers see if Baker's okay, the Panthers think that they're going to sign him to a contract because he's due for a contract at the end of the season.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna
And
ask
if
for
he's
some money.
okay, are they going to be like, "Oh, we're going to pay this guy to be okay"?
Yeah, or do you just risk it in the draft? Also, McCaffrey. I mean, he's been hurt. quite a bit.
this offense is going to be
good no matter what, 'cause he converts
first downs, no problem.
I have him
Yeah.
pegged for yet another injury. So
That's what. Yeah, that's why
He's the biggest X factor in this division. Not that the Panthers would be going to the playoffs even if he's healthy, but still, that will make them competitive.
If he plays 15 games, we're going to Super Bowl.
the Panthers will do
Wow.
what they do
Okay.
every. The Panthers do what they do every year. They're going to start like 2-3-1, then it's going to collapse.
Yeah,
Well, then, I don't know if you looked at the Panthers' schedule. It's brutal.
Yeah.
because they play the AFC West. I'm pretty sure because I think they do this year.
Dude,
So I
they
wanna
could-
say I saw,
they could play that. They could play.
Buccaneers will play
They
the
could play the
AFC West.
AFC South for all I care. They're still ending up with 5 wins.
Dang.
Where
But then
I
they
could
play
see
the
them
Bengals.
starting off well because that's going to be like I could see the narrative of Baker
Yep.
like trying to get back at his team.
Terry
Yeah.
Bradshaw will once again declared current player to be the best Panthers franchise quarterback, and then we'll only win 2 games the rest of the season.
Boy, that was a bad prediction, Bradshaw. Sam Darnold, the best. That's what, because his first 3 games, Sam Darnold was pretty good, and then I think the Dallas game was when it started going downhill. And then when he played the Eagles, thank you, Darnold, you gave that game away.
Yeah, that was
Free Darnold.
the
Free
Eagles.
Darnold.
The Eagles did everything to lose that game, and then the Panthers were like, "Here you go."
Yeah.
You have
Darnold's
it.
like, hey, Darius Slay, here's a pick for you, baby.
All I'm gonna say
All I'm
is free
saying is-
Darnold. Send him
Oh
to
my
the
God.
Browns. Send him to the Browns. I'll have him in playoffs. I'll have him win the Super Bowl.
Wow, bull, man, get out of here.
I am winning the Super Bowl, putting that team on his back, carrying it.
Sorry, Phil, just admit you were wrong about him. You were wrong.
At least the guy I
Browns do
stand. At least the guy I stand's competent. Like Sam Darnold was just trash.
Dude, I'm in too deep, man. I'm in too deep at this point. I just
He's deep
gotta
in the
die
weeds.
with the hell.
I respect it. I respect
I'm like
it, Phil,
Skip
'cause,
Bayless with Tim Tebow. Just gotta die on the hill. Just keep going with it.
Like I'll say that Sam Darnold is better than Tim Tebow.
Oh,
That's a quarterback.
Yeah, okay, yeah, easy.
As a
I'll get-
winner,
I
say
would-
not.
No, not as a winner, but I will give Darnold that he is better at throwing a football than Tim Tebow.
All right.
If that's like the benchmark we're going for, then like
we set the bar
But yes,
first.
let's before we leave this division. Yes, the Bucks are going to win this division, and
Yes.
I mean the weapons Tom Brady has. He's probably going to lead the league. Tom Brady led the league last year in completions, touchdowns, and yards. I mean, he could potentially do it again because he's got his top 2 receivers again from last year, Godwin
Julio
and
Jones.
Evans. Now he's got Julio, who's pretty much going to take the Gronk role. So if
and,
Julio
and
stays
Russell
healthy,
and Russell Gage.
Russell Gage, the tight ends they got, and not going to be
Doesn't
Gronk,
matter.
of course.
Doesn't matter.
Don't
Right.
it don't matter.
The only thing that might come back, which again I don't think is going to affect the regular season, another one of their guards went down.
Oh yeah. The O line is a bit leaky. They lost Ryan Jensen, who's a starting center. They lost someone who's competing for left guard,
Mhm.
and
I
I
lost
think
his-
somebody else
But
got
they
hurt.
did
Mark
add.
it in off season.
Yeah.
They added.
Oh, you talking about
Oh,
Shaq
but-
Mason?
Yeah, they added this one, Shaq Mason. So
Yeah.
that's going to be at least he has
But
that.
still,
kind-
but
still,
the
yeah.
center being out,
Mhm.
Ryan Jensen was one of the better ones
Yeah.
in the league.
But they
Not gonna
should, because I also think they started weirdly because they also had some weird defensive injuries last year as well.
The defense is going to be loaded.
Yeah, it's still loaded. Devin White's still.
But for the O line, I don't think it's as big of a deal
Yeah.
for the Bucks as it would be for other teams because Tom Brady has seen every defense known to man. He knows exactly where to go.
and he just
he
gets the ball
yeah,
out of
right.
it.
So,
Sam,
If it was like Burrow, Burrow is good enough anyway, but I'd be more worried about him potentially getting hurt because I know he holds the ball longer than Brady. So
Yeah. In and out, get it out. Sam. All right, cool. We're gonna go to the NFC North.
I'm surprised Packers win the division again like they always do.
Yeah. Packers, Minnesota,
'Cause-
Chicago,
because,
Detroit.
Yep, that's how I have it too. I mean, because you got 2 of the worst
Well,
teams in the.
no. See, it's definitely Packers, Vikings, Detroit, then Chicago.
No.
Look,
no.
no matter, you boys hash it out now.
Dude, as long as Jared Goff's over there, they're pegged. I got him pegged for 4 wins.
I have a little
Whoa.
controversial opinion. I actually have the Vikings winning the division over the Packers.
Wow.
Here. Listen to me out. Here's my thing. I think Devontae Adams is going to be a little bit bigger hit. I don't think the fact he does not have a number 1 is going. I don't think it's going to kill him, but I think it's going to regress them because these new receivers, there haven't been too many great things coming out of camp. Rodgers will still figure it out, but I think the Vikings are going to take. I don't think it's really a take step. I think it's just the Packers go down, really, and that's kind of.
I just
my
don't
view.
say- you
And
know-
I think
you
the
know,
Vikings have a great team. I mean, I think they
have a
great
good
team with
offense.
the
Defense has been lacking the past few years, but again, Kirk Cousins, he's a king of putting up pretty numbers. His career, if you look at his stat line every year, is beautiful. He just doesn't win the games. I believe he's under 500 for his career, so I do not see them beating the Packers for a division. Because I think the time he won the division in NFC East, he went 9-7. He's always right around 500.
I think this is just one of those years. Just the Packers just lose it by 1 game. It's
Yeah,
not one. I think it's just going to be 1 game.
And again,
Kirk. That again, I'm not putting Kirk. I think the offense is just really good, and them getting a new getting another coach. Grant Zimmer, I think was fine, but I understood why they fired him. But
I just think when
it's
push
just gonna
comes
be
to
the
shove,
difference.
if it's between
And-
Rodgers and Cousins, Rodgers going to win it every time.
I think the receiving core people are not
But
understanding.
well,
not having number one.
I think Rodgers can make it work. I think it'll be just fine. He's not going to win MVP, but I think he'll still get 20 plus, 25 plus touchdowns, probably under 6 picks.
Yeah.
And the running game, they're gonna go in that running game more. You got AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones, 2 good running backs. I think they'll be able to do some things there. I was hoping they would get Julio Jones before the Bucs did. I thought that would have been smart, but maybe they're holding out for Odell Beckham. I don't know. But the defense for the Packers is still really good. And then for the Lions and Bears, Lions, I don't know.
I had the Lions over the Bears just because I think the Lions are a bit better, and I think they play for their coach more than the Bears just suck.
Well, I think the Bears
have nothing
sabotaging their team.
Yeah, they're not giving Justin Fields much to work with.
Poor free Justin
see,
Fields.
this is why the Panthers should have drafted him. Another reason to fire Matt Rule. Another reason Matt Rule needs to be fired. It just means no matter
what the Bears do, they will never find a franchise quarterback because they have never really had one since Sid Luckman in the 40s.
Justin Fields could have been a Pro Bowler, but then he got drafted by Chicago.
Mm-hmm. The only team that kills Bears are the worst, but Jets are the second, I would think.
I mean, Browns.
Yeah, not that I'm upset with Mac Jones, but he was 1 pick away from the Patriots, and I was really feeling some Justin Fields.
Yeah, so I could definitely see the Lions being better than the Bears because, again, like we said, the Bears lost Khalil Mack, so the defense isn't going to be as good. Offensively, they did not get better. You could say they got worse potentially because even though Allen Robinson didn't have a good year last year, he was still respectable.
Yeah.
And
who's Chicago's number 2? Brian Pringle?
Besides Darnell Mooney, I really honestly couldn't tell you who they have to be. I know who's on the roster. I don't know who they're projecting to be the second receiver.
Well, did you guys see also, again, I guess preseason, but those preseason game, like, what's this line that's going to protect Justin Fields? I'm wondering that. It would look rough.
Yeah, it's a bad combination. He likes to hold the ball. The O-line is not able to give him the time he wants to throw the ball, so it's not going to be pretty, I don't think.
I think he has to hold the ball because nobody open. He probably
right. But even then, like, the O-line, if he needs the time, I don't think he's going to get it. So I can see it being pretty rough. But like I said, the Lions could surprise. I don't think playoffs, but they do like to play for Dan Campbell. He's a good leader and motivator. So I can see them being third. But they're not. I mean, they're on Hard Knocks, but they're not going to be challenging for anything.
All right. Anybody else got anything?
Oh, yeah. I do want to add one more note on the Packers. I want to know what Aaron Rodgers did for the Packers to never give him a receiver in the first round.
Never.
Have a crap attitude. Oh.
And how bad have a pick is Jordan Love turning out to be? Like,
dude, he looked bad.
To the shock of who? Like, I didn't see it when they.
No, I didn't either. But I'm just like, you could have drafted. I think they.
Like when people were saying that he was like, when people were saying that he was a first round pick, I was like, are you kidding? Or first or second round pick, I was like, are you serious? I didn't see Jordan Love as a first or second rounder, but
okay, so they couldn't have had him. They could have had Brandon Ayuk or something like. I mean, anybody better than would have been more productive than what they've gotten from Jordan Love.
I'm just about to look at what a quarterback that was drafted.
T. Higgins was Pittman Jr. was drafted later in the second round.
Jalen Hurts was drafted, so they could have maybe Jalen Hurts would have been a better option. At least if it seems like right now.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, we didn't see much of Jordan Love, but I just more so want to say, what the heck? Why are the Packers not trying to surround him like the Bucs did with Tom Brady? This is his last few years. Surround the guy with some offensive talent.
Also, remember, they traded up to draft Jordan Love, not which makes it even worse. It's like, really? You really thought this guy was something, huh? I didn't know what you saw. All right, we're going to go to the NFC West. Let's hear, Jacob, Vitamin J, as the NFC West expert from last year. What do you got?
NFC West, I got the Rams leading, and then San Fran, Arizona's down to third this year. And then last, not even close to Seattle. I have those three teams making playoffs again.
Seattle's going to be pushing for worst record in the league.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. I have the exact same as Jacob.
Nah, I flipped the Cardinals and 49ers just because I don't know really truly what to expect from Lance. I don't know if he's going to unlock the magic of Kyle Shanahan's offense. He could, and they could be really good because the defense is also phenomenal. And the offense is good, obviously, because they have good pieces, and Kyle Shanahan is one of the best schemers in the league. It just really all depends if his accuracy, I guess. I just don't know what to expect.
I put them over the Cardinals because there's like a lot of offseason drama with the Cardinals. Maybe it gets to the head. I only have one game separating them, so.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah. I also
the Cardinals
agree.
always play in the second half, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they were like, 7-0 last year and ended up 11
they're
6.
low.
And yeah.
I also agreed. I'm really struggling with this division. Besides the Rams, obviously, and the Seahawks, but the 49ers, Cardinals, I didn't really know what to expect because I'm sketchy. I'm still iffy on Trey Lance. I think there was a reason Jimmy G played last year, and I'm really skeptical of Trey Lance. I think, though, Shanahan does do pretty well, but I think that usually it's a great season, then something happens.
Yeah, they kinda
so
go
I'm
back and
kind
forth.
of skeptical. Also, with the Cardinals with last year, if they had finished well, I would have a lot more faith. But the fact that they kind of just petered off, it seemed like I don't know. I think they're just not. I don't.
Second
yeah.
year in a row.
Yeah, I'm kind of skeptical to really put my faith in it.
Like, yes, they had injuries, but every team
Every team does.
Every team, and this year also DeAndre Hopkins out 6 games. I know they didn't get Hollywood Brown, but
There's no Hop.
I also thought Cliff Kingsbury was going to get fired last year. I thought he
Yeah,
should
we
have,
got that
and
wrong.
I don't think he's that guy as an NFL coach.
No, I mean, I think I have them making playoffs, so I think they would be one of the wild card teams. But
Yeah,
I don't see them. I don't see them being better than last year. Probably about the same.
Yeah.
But I think the Rams are going to be the Rams. They signed. They seem to have unlimited. They had. I think they turned cap space off. So they have so many pieces, and I would not be surprised to see Odell sign with them later in the year as they push for the playoffs.
Yep.
They also got old boy back. And Akers.
Yeah, Cam Akers is back. Adero Henderson. So running backs aren't great, but they're good enough. And then they got Allen Robinson, who I would expect to have a bounce back year, and of course Cooper Kupp. So the offense is going to be fine, and the defense, of course, is going to be phenomenal. So they'll win this division, I think, pretty easily.
Yeah, I had them at 13 wins, and honestly, I almost put 14. I got Seattle as 3 wins. They're going to be so bad.
Oh yeah, Drew Lock. I mean, they struggled with Russell Wilson.
Well,
Drew
this way,
Lock
even
now,
if Geno's a guy or Drew Lock, I mean, they're both just not good enough.
I'm telling you right now, I'm staying so far away from
And
DK
the
Metcalf.
sad thing is they got both DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So
Yep.
like they have good receivers.
I'm not touching either one, honestly.
And they have. I mean, Rashad Penny was a pretty decent running back last year, then
Yeah, he was a killer in fantasy when he played.
they moved on from Bobby Wagner, right? They cut him. He signed with Denver, was it? But anyways, they lost Bobby Wagner.
He went to the Cowboys, didn't he?
No, I thought
No, he went to Rams.
to the Rams.
Right.
Okay, so the Rams got even better with Wagner. But Seattle's defense is going to be atrocious. I think again they lost Bobby Wagner, who is one of the best linebackers in the league and the captain of the defense. So they're going to push for the #1 pick, and I think they want to do that. So
Yeah, but
so
say if you're a Seattle
Bryce
fan,
Young or whatever.
you want that for sure.
Their offense is to run the ball, but they're going to be down pretty much every game. But I don't know how much you run. So now you're going to have to put in Geno or Drew Lock.
Collectively,
I trust neither one.
Collectively, because neither one of them start in all 16 games. Collectively, I wouldn't be surprised if they lead or among the league leaders in interceptions.
All right, the most interesting division of this conference, the NFC East.
You want to know who I have win that division?
Nope.
All right, let's
Eagles, baby.
let's hear it.
One reason. First of all, Dallas won it last year. The NFC East has not had a repeat champion since 2003, 2004. So
streaks are made to be broken.
They're out.
Streaks are made to be broken. The streak will be broken this year. Yes.
Not now. The Eagles will because again they got AJ Brown. Huge move. Then the defenses look good. They get drafted Jordan Davis. They got linebackers now. They got Nakobe Dean, Kazir White, James Bradbury as a second corner. So that defense is going to be real nice this year. And offensively, of course, the X factor for the Eagles is how much better can Jalen Hurts be? Because if they're going to make some noise, he needs to be more consistent as a passer than he was last year. But I do have the winning division. I think, though, again, the schedule for the NFC East as a whole is not that tough this year. So I have the winning. Cowboys second, Commanders third, and then Giants fourth, a distant fourth.
I got the last 2 are fine, but I have Dallas winning and Philadelphia second. Both are making playoffs though.
I'm gonna have to go with Dallas winning. It's only because I think if the Eagles had a better quarterback, they would be easily the first best team in this division.
I am agreeing with Max over here on who's winning. I have the Eagles winning as well. I think the other thing that you have to take with the Cowboys, I have them second. Mike McCarthy, I think, is going to be on the hot seat. And also, I think Amari Cooper going, and CeeDee Lamb's the one, and also their number 2 is Michael Gallup,
Who's
who
hurt.
just got hurt last year. He's coming off injury. I think Dak's going to struggle a little bit more unless Zeke's going to have like a much better bounce back season.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of questions with them of coaching, team. Their defense did have a lot of turnovers last year, but you can't really depend on turnovers year to year.
Right.
I think Diggs had a great season, like because I did have their fantasy defense, so that was great with Diggs.
Their defense will still be good.
They're
Now,
still-
will that be as good as last year? Who knows? Because they were really good last year. But again, like you said, with the Cowboys losing Amari Cooper, I think people nationally just underestimate how much that is because Amari Cooper was by far the best route runner on that team on all levels. Lamb's probably better on the longer stuff, but we need a 3rd and 5. Cooper can get that no problem. And then now that the attention is all going to be on CeeDee Lamb, who's going to step up? Michael Gallup is probably going to be on pup, miss the first 6 games probably. Who's the number 2? Because they lost Cedric Wilson, who was their number 3 last year. So I don't know if it's still going to be Noah Brown or whoever it's going to be. It's just whoever it is not going to be as good as what you had. I just see them not being as good as last year. And then I'll let Commanders, I think they'll be better because I think Wentz is better than Heineke. And I think the defense can't be as bad as they were last year. They haven't looked good in the preseason, but you can't always tell things in the preseason. So I had them going about 9-8, 9-8, 8-9, around 500 because they've won 7 wins the first 2 years. Ron Rivera, and maybe they'll win 9-ish games. And then I got the Giants 5-12 because you know why? Daniel Jones ain't.
No,
Daniel Jones ain't it.
He's it. He's
He's
it.
the guy.
Everybody else on that team ain't it.
All right.
Get rid of everybody.
I have them flipped. I had the Giants 3rd, Commanders 4th. I do like Wentz. I just think, again, I think Brian Daboll is a lot better coach than people are giving him credit for. I think the Josh Allen getting better had a lot to do with Daboll. I think he's compared to what they have of Joe Judge was very incompetent.
Yeah. Oh, he
It was a bad. As a Patriots fan, the second that I heard they were hiring Joe Judge, I was like, "What?" Like,
See, you think you misunderstand. I think Brian Daboll's a good coach. I just think Daniel Jones is shit.
I think he's gonna get the best out of Jones. I'm not saying he's gonna be extraordinary. I think also Jones is gonna have a better line, which he's had bad lines. I think Saquon. I'm also kind of banking on Saquon being healthy this year and a better offensive scheme. That when Daboll came in, he started talking to Daniel Jones of, hey, what are some plays that you think will work well for you? And I think they're going to create a system more to work around what his skills and attributes are about. Also, the division's not that great. Like, if you had put him in any other division, I ain't really trusting it, but it's the NFC East. There's question marks on every single team. Eagles, even though I have them winning, I'm still questioning Jalen Hurts, which, like I'm with Hunter, if they had any like a better quarterback, I would have him like destroy. I would probably have him number 1 in the conference because of like that division. You would run through it. So I think there's going to be a lot to having a better coach, having a better system around Daniel Jones, and I think Tooney as well as Galladay are going to have better seasons. I'm also really banking on Saquon coming back and having a solid season because he is in a contract year. So they're gonna run him, and he's gonna have to really earn that new contract.
Hunter, true or false? Tyrod Taylor will start some games for the Giants.
Oh, and probably, yeah. Well, like Daniel Jones just had a procedure in the offseason for his neck. I mean, that's never a good thing. Even though they're like, oh, it's a non-football surgery. It's like, what are you talking about?
Well, I mean, if you have surgery, look, they always tell you any surgery is bad. You know, any surgery is like major surgery. You know?
I'll tell you this. Yes, Tyrod Taylor will start a game because the Giants will rest their starters because
He's like, I haven't won the division.
13-4.
Wow.
I got them going to the Super Bowl.
That's that hopium.
I'm like, Jay, let's put a bet on that. Let me.
Oh, and Daniel Jones, MVP candidate.
Wow.
Wow. The for me, that big X factor will be the Commanders' defense. If their defense can return to what it was 2 years ago, I could see them get into the playoffs. But if their defense is like last year, not going to happen because their defense was like 31st against the pass, and in the passing league, there's only 32 teams, so you can't get much worse.
Yeah. Sure. All right. Let's go into awards of what we think. All right. Defensive Player of the Year. I have Watt. I think he's just going to have.
Which one, TJ or JJ?
Okay, TJ. All right.
Nick Bosa.
I
man, let me
didn't
think
pick
about
one. I didn't pick one, so let me go ahead and pick Michael Parsons.
I'm gonna go Aaron Donald again.
I wanted to, but like, how many that be? Like 5?
Yeah,
Like,
I
come
think
on.
I think voter
Yeah.
fatigue.
Yeah,
is
that
gonna
exactly.
kick in for him unless he
Exactly.
has a
Like, we can't get
and
into
with
it.
Wagner.
They're not fatigued. Just bought one last year, so they just shook
Yeah,
that
but
off.
still,
Now
he
they're
got, but he has so many. They'd be like, oh,
Yeah.
let's give it to Nick Bosa because that's what I picked.
Mhm.
Offensive player of the year. I have Brady.
I got Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor
I have
again.
Justin Jefferson.
I can see Jefferson doing that.
I see it. Yeah, I just put Brady because I'm like, I think he's just gonna put up.
Check it. Did
ridiculous
Jonathan Taylor
numbers
win? I
this
thought Cooper Cup won it.
Okay, fine. I don't know. Jonathan Taylor's my pick though.
Yeah. Regardless.
year.
But I think Jonathan Taylor, I think he's going to have probably about at least 1,500 yards again. And a lot of times, offensive player, it goes to either the best receiver or best running back. So,
We all know the MVP is a quarterback award. So
yeah,
Mhm.
pretty much. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And MVP, I'm actually changing who I have. I had Allen. I think it's gonna be Joe. I think it's gonna be Burrow.
See, I think it's going to be Tom Brady.
See,
I'm gonna stick with
think-
Allen because who'd you pick, Phil?
I had Allen. I was going with Burrow. I had Allen originally, but I think it's gonna be Burrow.
I just don't. I think Burrow will have a good year, but I don't know. I still think Allen will still get it.
See, I'm going with Justin Herbert.
I see it. I was gonna say with several of them, it's storyline.
See, I think it's going to be Brady because, like I said,
Yeah.
the storyline last season, I would hope, please let this be the last year. So last year, they go 13-4. He's going to go throw 40-plus touchdowns again, probably because he's done it the first 2 years with Tampa Bay. I'm like, well, he's 100 years old. He threw 40 touchdowns. Maybe his last year, swan song MVP, boom.
I can see that. I think where it's gonna be is I think Burrow is gonna be the new guy on the block. Is
It will,
announcing he did it like though in playoffs. He kind of got that. I think he's gonna have the stats. Him and Jamar Chase gonna put up the stats. He's winning that division, which I think which is a little harder division, which is a harder division to win. And I think it's gonna be a couple stats that I'm questioning if Brady's sitting at the last game because they're gonna have that division wrapped up.
Although
That Burrow, well, the division they're seeding wrapped up quicker. That Burrow might play that extra game. That's gonna put him to stats.
I think the
to
Bucks
beat
will too
Brady.
because I see them in the Rams being the top 2
Yeah.
seeds. So it really
They're
just
gonna
depends.
have, So, all right. Let's go to playoffs. All right, let's start with AFC. What do we get?
I'll go first. I got the Bills 1 seed, Chiefs 2 seed, Bengals 3, Colts 4 because the division winners that's how it goes, and then Broncos 5, Chargers 6, Dolphins 7.
I have the Bills number 1. I have the Broncos number 2, Bengals 3. I agree. Colts. I have the Chiefs 5, Ravens 6, and the Chargers are 7th seed.
Let's see. I had Bills 1, Chargers 2, Ravens 3, Colts 4, and then Chiefs.
5.
Yeah, Chiefs 5, Bengals 6, and Vegas 7.
Yeah, I got Bills, then Ravens, then the Chiefs, then Colts, then Chargers, Bengals, Broncos.
All
So
right.
for conference championship on the AFC, I got Buffalo defeating Cincinnati.
And you said in the AFC Championship game?
Yeah.
I'm going Bills Chiefs again, or for another good game.
Buffalo Chargers with Buffalo advancing fine for once.
I have Broncos over Bills.
Something different.
Wow, you got Broncos going Super Bowl, huh?
I got them in the Super Bowl.
Wow.
The last time they got a veteran quarterback, it worked out. Well,
It-
actually, no, I can't say that because they did it for Bridgewater and Jeff Flacco. Okay, last time they had a good veteran quarterback, it worked out.
Hall of Fame veteran
Yeah.
quarterback. So yeah, I guess with some of the playoff, I have Dolphins just barely missing, just because the AFC is just so good. I just think they don't have the quarterback to do it. I think they're going to miss out by like one game.
And wait, so the Dolphins don't make playoffs. Even if they have a winning record, like let's just say they're 10-7, miss playoffs. Do they move on from Tua? If they don't make playoffs with that team,
I think I think they'll move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be in. Can this guy
unless Tua gets like 5,000 yards pass or something,
Yeah, well,
crazy
I think
good
they
numbers.
need to win at least 10 games for Tua not be gone.
Right?
Yeah. It's gonna, because it's gonna. That's God. Like I mean,
Because
all the
that's a
quarterbacks-
quarterback's wet dream, right? There to have
Yeah.
that offense.
Oh my gosh, with a style defense that
Well, and I feel like that division is not that difficult either, like, to be number 2 seed, you know?
Mhm.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, really, all you're worrying about is mainly the Bills, but I think he's going
Well, the
to.
Patriots are going to be
Patriots
tough.
are going to be tough,
but
and they're going to split one with the Patriots. That I think
Dolphins
is going to.
always do.
Yeah, they always split with the Patriots, and then I think they're losing both times to the Bills that are going to come back to haunt them. All right, let's go into the NFC.
I'll start again. I got Bucks number 1 seed, Rams 2, Packers 3, Eagles be 4th, then the Cowboys at 5, Cardinals 6, Saints 7.
Nah.
That's all I got to say. Nah.
Rams 1, Bucks 2, Packers 3, Cowboys 4, 49ers 5, 6 Eagles, and 7 Vikings.
The exact same list as Jacob.
The exact same order.
You even have
you think you're related.
you even have Minnesota in that 7?
Yep.
Dang.
All right. My list is I am going to have to explain it. Rams, Bucks, Vikings, Eagles, Cowboys, Packers, Giants. I'm in. I'm invested.
How many wins do you
Bull.
think they're going to get?
Huh? I think they're going to get in with 9 wins. I think 9. I was going to say, I think that East is going to be a close division. I think
I think it will be close with the other 3 teams.
So okay. So here was kind of where I started putting my logic. So I was listening to the Herd a couple weeks ago, and Colin pulled out this stat. There's about 5 to 6 teams each year that make the playoffs the year before that don't make it. So, and it's several teams each year we just don't see coming.
Right.
And I started deducing, well, what are some of the teams that aren't going to make it? I knew I was like, okay, Steelers aren't making playoffs that made it last year. I felt Steelers aren't. I felt 49ers aren't going to be. I think Trey Lance is going to be it's going to be a little worse than everybody's giving credit for. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is still better. So that's kind of where I was trying to mix and match how many teams. And I was like, well, I'm going to have to plug in a couple teams that are just injury or whatever. Granted, I still have quite a bit, but that's kind of the statistic that I was going with. I'm like, well, I'm going to have to figure out who the heck else is going to get here because I was like, well, there's only so many teams, and several of them I just don't believe are going to make it no matter what. So that's kind of where my thought process came in.
You should put the Commanders there instead of Giants.
I do have an amendment to make because I didn't realize I said it because I was listening. I have the Packers are going to be 5th over the Cowboys. Sorry. I had them 6th, accidentally. They're going to be 5th.
Cowboys winning a playoff game? Is this their year?
No, because they're going to be playing. They're going to be playing Vikings now. I'm facing Vikings now. I don't trust it.
So for conference championship game, I think most people are going to. It's not really anything deep, but I have Tampa Bay beating the Rams, so I'm flip flopping last year's result.
Well, I have.
No, you don't.
Well, I have the Giants. No,
No,
I'm just
you
kidding.
don't.
I'm just kidding.
The Rams Rams over the Niners.
Oh wow.
Okay.
For the championship game?
Mm-hmm.
You think they're going there again?
There's always that
Niners
one
getting-
team there's always that one team that gets in there, like Tennessee and Jacksonville, that had no business in there. So
Pretty chalky, but Rams Bucks.
I mean, those are. At
I
least
think they're
on
just so
paper,
much better.
They're the top 2 teams.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
barring some crazy injuries to them, I just think those 2
Right.
teams. I don't.
Like
I just
now, if
cannot
Matt
see.
Stafford's with a shoulder or
Yeah,
elbow
elbow.
flares up, then yeah, they're in big trouble. But
But I still.
I,
Think,
on these, you can't predict the injury. So
yeah, true. I would say, but it's just the other teams that I see. It's like, do I believe Eagles unless Jalen Hurts makes this biggest step up that I just
if he
did not
has
see coming.
if he has a jump like Winston in his second year, then I
yeah,
can see it.
then he'll make a run. Packers, I'm sorry, each year they do this and they flame out in playoffs. I'm just not trusting it. I can't. I'm not putting money on.
I would love to see Rodgers in the Super Bowl, but every year I hope for it and it doesn't happen. So I'll see it when I see it.
Same story. It's the same story, different chapter.
I was so befuddled they lost to the 49ers. I thought they would have had that game.
I think that was the year.
But for the Super Bowl, unfortunately, because I'm hoping if he wins it, he'll leave. Tampa Bay defeats the Bills.
Bills over Rams.
Yep, same.
The streak ends. The Bucks beat the Broncos. So the new quarterback with the new team ends this year. 30-24 Bucks. All right, so thank you. Let us know your thoughts on your NFL predictions below. Thank you to all of those who have been following us, all the comments, enjoying. You guys have been great. Again, 200 something views on most of our videos, but 62 subscribers.
We're gonna
Please subscribe.
pump those numbers up. Those rookie numbers.
Also, hit the like button. If you're coming week after week, just if you don't want to subscribe, at least hit the like button. You know, coming week after week, you enjoy, come hit the notifications, all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Let us know your thoughts below. You know, tell the rest of the world. Phil's right. The Giants are making playoffs. I gotta have one team that we just don't see coming. And
Eagles win the East.
I'm pretty confident once we review this in a year that you won't
Oh
be
no!
too happy.
I mean, this is my
said this last year.
is my long shot. So let us know at the end of the year. We will review this at the end of the year and do it NFL. Also tune in again if this recording works. We are planning to do a weekly NFL show to kind of recap the season. You will be probably hearing a lot of complaining from two or three of our guests about the Panthers each and every week. But
Absolutely.
it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be enjoyable. All right, I'm Legacy,
And I'm Max.
Vitamin J.
all right, and catch you all later, and may the discussions begin.